What's up, y'all? Speaking of evil, drop a gem, food for thought. I want to talk a little bit about Vlad today, Vlad TV. Now, I want to preface this with me saying I'm not a hater. Vlad has a very huge platform, 3 million plus subscribers. Gets a lot of views. He has a well-oiled, strong infrastructure built. And I respect that about him. And I've always watched Vlad TV. I've always thought it was a good show. But you got to scratch your head and wonder, what's Vlad's agenda? A lot of people say he's, hip-hop police, quote unquote. He's a Fed. He's working for the other side. I don't know. A lot of his line of questioning is very suspect. Could he be? I mean, anything's possible nowadays with this internet, man. You got internet, cops all over the internet, investigators all over the internet. So let's say let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he's not, and he's just asking a suspect line of questioning for 90% of his guests, right? Either two things: either he's stupid and don't realize the repercussions these things can bring, or he doesn't care and he just wants clickbait. And to me, that makes him a culture vulture. Now, Vlad is Russian. I'm not saying that white people are not welcome in the house of hip hop. As Lord Jamal would say, I do believe they are. I don't subscribe to that theory. I understand Lord Jamal's point. But I think we all can make hip hop. We all could contribute to the culture. Did black people start the culture? Absolutely. Should white people be allowed to partake in it? Absolutely. Why not? If they're contributing something, meaningful and constructive and something that, adds to the culture, adds to the value of the culture, then absolutely. But back to Vlad. His line of questioning, he'll run down your criminal history. And he has people saying some suspect things, Arab. Little Baby challenged him, asked him how he knew certain things, and Vlad kind of looked stumped. I forgot how long ago this was, but go back and look this up, man. Little Baby kind of ran down on him and was like, "How'd you know that? How did you know that I got into the fight with that white guy?" And Vlad was like, I think you might have mentioned it before." Just real suspect shit. Anyway, Benny the Butcher respectfully kind of checked him, and if you're not an informant, if you're not a culture vulture, then you're incredibly stupid. Because whether this stuff, he always points out, the line of questioning is public knowledge, or they're not technically considered snitching. No, this may be so in certain cases, but you're sensationalizing this to the youth, right? You're glorifying it, whether directly or indirectly. 2, you're hyping this situation up that there's people outside of people who are in the interview, people in their lives that can feel a certain way about certain things, certain murders and went down, certain crimes. You're stirring all that back up. You're stirring all that energy back up. Now, yes, do you have to ask tough questions at times? I do. I believe you do. And for that, I respect it. But he goes over the line, man. Sometimes it makes me think he is an informant. Not saying he is. And the real dudes on there who he had on the show, like Little Fame, he wasn't comfortable with the line of questioning. He let Vlad know. I noticed Trey D, who I like a lot. I think he's a great guest. He's very cautious and careful with his words. He thinks about what he's gonna say. He doesn't let Vlad trip him up. He knows what Vlad can do, and I respect that. He doesn't say a lot of stuff, but then you got people like Keefe D, who was recently on there, and everyone knows who Keefe D is. If you don't know, he's the guy who had the proffer agreement with Detective Greg Kading, and allegedly he was the guy who was in the car with Orlando Anderson's uncle, that night Tupac was killed, and he pretty much spilled all the beans on that, and he had some type of agreement. But explain to me, and from what I understand, the proffer agreement is no longer valid or in effect. I'm not exactly sure about that. I'm not a lawyer, so I wouldn't be able to totally speak on that, but that's something I've heard. But explain to me how KVD is on Vlad TV in front of all these millions of subscribers that Vlad has, promoting a book about him and his people murdering Tupac the night in Vegas after the Tyson fight. How was this even possible? Telling the story outright, and how was it? And I'm not, listen, it's none of my business as far as him going to jail and but I don't know. I just don't get it. If this was anybody else, they'd be locked behind bars. How is this happening? It's power and money involved in this. You know what I mean? And there's, on the surface, yes, Orlando might have done it. They might have been in a car. But you can't tell me that there's not higher ups involved in this, keeping the story at a certain level where they want it to be, keeping it at the surface. So, because there's no way in my mind, you solved the case, the Tupac murder is solved, and the last guy who was involved still walking around in the streets untouched, profiting off what he did or what they did. It just blows my mind. If Vlad got in front of center on Vlad TV, it's just incredible to me. It just blows my mind. I mean, I know homies that got pinched for the littlest shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and doing time. Rest in peace. I mean, shout out to my brother Nicky. Hold your head. But listen, back to the story. Vlad, all you artists need to stop jumping on there and spilling all these beans. People are watching. Feds are watching. Hip-hop police are watching. You understand? Now, Vlad, is he a snitch? Is he an informant? Is he a fed? Is he hip-hop police? Or is he simply just a culture vulture who doesn't give a fuck about the people he's interviewing? Or is he just plain stupid? I don't know. Who knows? It's got to be one of those, correct? One thing I will say about Vlad, I like the way he teaches financial literacy, or tries to teach financial literacy to the audience. I commend him on that. I think that's very necessary. We need to get that in a lot of more videos, and we need to get that in our community a lot more. Understanding money, what money represents, the antiquated set of rules that they gave us. Go to school and be get a job and save up your money for 50 years and retire on a pension is total bullshit. It's old, antiquated way of thinking. Doesn't work. Probably never worked, but definitely doesn't work anymore. And you got to learn how to invest your money. You got to learn how to, make your money make money while you're sleeping. You know what I'm saying? They call it passive income. Learn it, through, whether it be through stocks, real estate, IG bonds, investments, index stocks, whatever it might be. Do some research on that. That's very important. And the whole George Washington and the square root of a fucking this and what is obtuse triangle and all that, all useless bullshit 95% of the time in your life. Teach you how to balance a checkbook, teach you how to invest your money, teach you how to make your money grow, teach you not to fuck your credit up as a kid, teach you, stop spending money, stop spending unnecessary money, disposable income, save your money. But you can save your money all your life, and with the interest rates now with these banks on these savings accounts, it's so minuscule. You won't make it. You're never gonna be rich saving your little pennies every week. But back to Vlad, I commend him on that. He teaches that a little bit. He promotes that. But other than that, I think y'all need to chill with the whole dropping down on yourself. Anyway, just some food for thought. Drop a Gem TV. Got a lot of more interviews coming up. Great guests. I'm going to be posting them soon. I just want y'all to make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share, and in the link below is Cash App. Shoot a donation over here. We've been doing work for 4 or 5 years, putting in a lot of work, a lot of dope interviews, a lot of hard work. Haven't really asked for a penny up to this point now, but if you can make a donation, that would greatly help. The Cash App is Hustler, HUSTLA 1975. Hustler 1975. HUSTLA 1975. No donation is too small. You already know what it is. Till the next video, so drop a Gem TV. Speak no evil. Food for thought. Peace.